I banished uninvited guests from my dinner party and now the whole town thinks I'm rude and selfish. Edited to add, I put this out there, so I guess people will comment what they want. My question was if I was an offer kicking these two people out. I really wasn't asking if you think that my wife and I should continue hosting frequent events at our house. We can easily afford it, and it makes my wife happy. The reoccurring comments that we should stop hosting or change to potluck are just unnecessary. We've been hosting 60 events per year for at least 10 years and have had a handful of issues over the years. Very rare occurrences considering how often we entertain. I am not going to upset my wife about changing something that obviously works well the vast majority of the time. Original post follows. My wife and I live in a tiny little town with one restaurant and a gas station that serves food. There isn't much to do in the nearest bigger town like 80 miles away. Takes at least 1.5 hours depending on traffic. My wife is extremely social and living here doesn't exactly suit her, so we compromise by having friends and family over way more than I would like. It's give and take. We host weekly, sometimes bi-weekly dinners. I help prep food, cook, clean and try really hard to be a gracious host, because there isn't much to do. We aren't super funny about people who are invited bringing someone else. At this time of the year we usually grill things on weekend gatherings. We buy frozen homemade hamburger patties, assorted sausage, kebabs, etc. from a local butcher. We buy tons of stuff that he typically sells to restaurants. Everything is frozen and vacuum sealed in small packages. It's not a huge deal to pull out and cook a few more kebabs or whatever. So this past weekend our friend brought one of his girlfriends. We've met her before, and her adult daughter we've never met. Another friend brought his fiance's brother Mark. We know the fiance, but she wasn't there. So Mark went inside to the bathroom and saw my liquor collection. My wife and I aren't big drinkers, but we do usually put out some mixers and standard liquor. If you want something else, bring your own. But I do have a rather nice collection of very top shelf liquor that I've collected over the years. Mark came out and started loudly complaining that we keep good liquor locked up and serve our guests trash liquor. He didn't say it just once, but multiple times. Then the adult daughter, I didn't even get her name, started very rudely questioning my wife about what was gluten-free. Well, we really don't know. We buy the meat and I really don't know if the spices added are gluten-free or not. She said, "So you just feed people random stuff without knowing what's in it? That's just great." She looked at my wife, rolled her eyes and said, "Get me a bowl. I guess I'll just use this lettuce to make a salad. I can eat the bacon and tomatoes, I guess." She grabbed several slices of bacon and shoved them in the mouth and said, "I would ask you for some salad dressing, but you probably don't know what's in that either." The lettuce, tomatoes, bacon, grilled onions, cheese are meant to be burger toppings. It is a pet peeve of mine when people start grabbing them and eating large quantities of them plain. Why would you think it's okay to go to a party and eat half the bacon or half the cheese? So if you take all or almost all of something, what's everyone else going to put on their burger? At this point I had enough of Mark and his complaints about the liquor I was providing for free. I had enough of how this woman was speaking to my wife. I kicked them both out. I told them that they were rude, ungrateful, ungracious guests and they both needed to leave. Which they did. My wife hasn't said anything, but I feel terrible that her gathering was ruined. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I want to know what you think.